Hi everyone, Melanie Duncan here. We're about to get the Google Hangout started. So just go ahead, we're going to try and get all of the tech aspects set up properly. There's always lots to juggle and rearrange and test when you do one of these Hangouts. So do me a favor and just type in the chat right now. Let me know that it's working. Let me know if you can hear me. How's the audio? Is it quiet? Does it sound good? Can you see the video playback all right? Just go ahead and type in the chat and let me know if everything is working. All right, I'm seeing some feedback. So just to let you know, Devin, my husband, Dev, say hi. He's the one that empowers me and everyone on our team to do everything that we do because he is the systems master and the tech master. So I'm actually in my living room right now in New York City, and we have a screen set up where I can see your questions. That way I don't have to kind of have my head down searching in here. You don't want a shot of my forehead the whole time. So if you see me looking up, it's because I'm looking and I'm reading your questions, and I'm going to be going through and trying to respond to you, as quickly as possible. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay, so if something funky happens, just kind of bear with me, but we're going to do our best. I just really want to thank you so much for being here today, and more of a casual atmosphere, right? Not super high production like the videos or super on task, on topic like our webinar, but just kind of invite you into my home, have an open forum. You know, the 90-day year of the program, Todd and I are hosting together. Enrollment actually closes tomorrow night. So I know I see a lot of familiar faces and names in the chat right now, which I know a lot of you new 90-day year members are joining us. But for those of you that are kind of on the fence and you're interested, but you're not really sure if it's the right program for you, I just want to make myself available to answer your questions and kind of talk through some of the key things about the program. Now, I have some bad news. I do. So Todd was going to join me today. He's actually up in Northern Canada. He has a really big client that he flew up there with to do this really intensive 3-day strategic training. It's mind-blowing, I'm sure. And he got sick. He got so sick. He called Dev and I this evening, and Todd is a trooper. I've seen him pull, a lot of late nights, do a lot of work, a lot of multitasking, and he was so sick. So I said, any good partner, I said, take care of yourself, make sure your family's good, all of that kind of stuff. Me, my gang, we can hang here on the Hangout, we'll be good. So Todd will not be joining us this evening, but all of you 90-day members, you know how awesome he is and just what a big heart he has for helping and caring and giving. Hopefully you can just kind of spread the word about that. But it's going to be me tonight, so you get me all to yourself, and we'll be talking about everything inside the 90-day year program and taking time to answer all of your questions. So I just want to go through and welcome people. I can see Kenya's here, Colleen, Renee, Elena. Can you scroll down a little bit, Deb? Herbs and Alchemy. Looks like maybe Raysua. Okay, Jill. Tons of people typing in. So everyone just kind of type in the chat. Let me know where you're listening in from. Where are you watching this Google Hangout from today? Where are you at home, or maybe you're at the office? I know we have people from all around the world, so it could be the middle of the day for someone and late into the night somewhere else. Wonderful. So tons of you, I just want to say welcome. A lot of you have just kind of joined us over the last few minutes. So thank you so much for being here. I'm Melanie Duncan. I'm going to be talking to you tonight about the 90-day year and answering all of your questions. Okay. So let's go ahead, let's get started. We're all busy. We're all busy ladies, busy men, whoever's here. If you have a question about the 90-day year and you aren't sure maybe if it's a right fit for you and your business, Todd actually sent me this fascinating list of all the different types of businesses that are inside the 90-day year. And if you're in the program, Todd and I have been trying to call all of you new members and talk to you. Obviously, it takes us a little while. If you haven't gotten a call yet, we will get to you, but there's been a lot of new members joining, and Todd and I are both in the middle of a lot of really exciting projects, so we'll get there. You're important to us, but it's going to take us a little while to get to everyone. Great. So people, I can see your responses right now. You're joining in from Knoxville, San Francisco, Discovery Bay, California, Silver Spring, Maryland, Connecticut, Ohio, Chicago, the Pacific Northwest. So I think we've got almost every corner of the United States here represented. A lot of people just in the US, which is cool. Sometimes our webinar audience, it gets very, very international, but got a lot of hometown people here. So this is wonderful. So as I mentioned, just go ahead and type in the chat any questions that you have about the 90-day year that you would like answered. And I also want to draw your attention to, there's a button below this video. It says, click here to learn more about the 90-day program. At any point, you can actually click that and you can see our full program description. So it'll walk you through all of the dates of the 7 sessions, which are really cool because the 7 sessions are they're group time with Todd. So you go as a group, you can get questions answered and go over the exercise of that previous session. But what's really neat about them is it's a kind of accountability. It keeps you in check. And we've got all the dates listed on that page you can check out. But even if one of the dates or a few of the dates, or heck, even if all of the dates don't work for you, you are still going to get a ton of value out of this training. Every one of those sessions will be recorded and added into the members area for you to review at your own convenience. And you'll also notice that you have tons of different modalities and ways to get value out of the course. So you can submit your questions ahead of time. You can get questions answered in the Facebook group. So you're still totally covered even if one of those dates or a couple of those dates don't work for you. Okay, so Devin's drawing my attention to some great questions that are coming in. I think it's Ray. Ray is asking, would this be a good program for a small social media company? And Todd actually answered a question like this really fantastically when we were on the webinar about people saying, will this work for me? Will this work for my kind of company? Will this work for my kind of product or services? And he's very good at like kind of digging a little bit deeper. And a lot of times when people ask that question, will this work for me, for my type of company? People really want to know, like, is this going to enable me to succeed? Is this going to be something that I'm actually going to get results from? And it doesn't necessarily have to do with what your business is. I mean, I can tell you off the bat, yes. I could just say yes, and that, and that would be my answer. But the truth is, this kind of a program, it does not matter what kind of business you have. It will help you immensely. You should have a business in place. You should have something, an idea that you're moving forward with and trying to gain traction on. But the truth is, it doesn't matter whether you're selling services or you're selling jewelry or you're selling wedding photography. This business is teaching you scalable systems and personal performance. So the type of company you have is actually, and it sounds kind of crazy, right, when we're talking about a business course, but the type of company you have is actually irrelevant. It has to do with you and improving your performance, the way you work in your business, the decisions you make, how you choose to work on smarter projects, and also what to focus on, how to get clarity and master your schedule and master your day again so that you feel good about what you're completing. You're actually completing things and they're the right things in your business. So again, yes, the answer is if you have a small social media company, yes, this program will help you immensely. Okay, Sonia is asking how the accountability partners are determined. Now, Sonia, thank you for asking this because it's a really cool part of the program where we're actually giving people a chance to be paired up with an accountability partner, someone to kind of keep them on their game, something that Todd and I both feel very passionately about in this kind of a training course. Now, accountability partners, Todd could probably give you the whole background behind it, but I can tell you a simple answer. And it is determined upon which stage of business you're in. And if you click on, I can actually pull this up, you can't see it, but I can see it for my own reference sake. So if you click on the button below, I'm just scrolling down to the bottom where we talk about accountability partners. And there's this three-part system you need. So in a great accountability partner, you need a common language, a shared purpose, and a similar level. And if you've been on either the 90-day webinar or the 90-day video series with me and Todd, you know that we talk about the 5 stages of business, right? So everyone is at a certain stage of business. If you're not sure which stage you're in, I'm sure we'll cover that inside the group and before that first session. But basically, you'll be paired up with someone that is at the same stage of business as you. If there are further details beyond that, I'll let Todd, go into that once we actually are inside the program and working with members. But I do know that's a really, really key thing we're going to be factoring in for your accountability partners, is that you're at a same level of business so that you guys are asking the same kinds of questions, so that you're experiencing the same similar things. It's not as much, again, it's not as much as the type of business you have, more so where you're at in your business. Hopefully that makes sense. What do you think, Deb? Any good questions? Okay. So Dave is asking, along with the group coaching, what videos are included in the 90-day plan? Well, I can tell you, Todd has a lot going on up here. And even as we laid out what was going to be included in the course, he kept having more ideas for things he wanted to add in and share with you. So I'm sure even my understanding of what is going to be available to you in terms of resources will be developed upon. But inside, I can tell you right now, there is the 90-day roadmap, which is the exercise that is critical to do, really important to do before January 1st. And it's the whole idea of unpacking your year. If you go to the program page, clicking the link below, sorry, Devin's coffee. The link below, you can actually see what is all included in that unpacking exercise. But that is the first exercise that kicks off your experience with the program. And then moving forward, there's a series of 7 exercises. And again, it lays it all out on the page, but they go through, you'll get a video for each one of those and a corresponding worksheet. And inside of that, you will be walked through a certain model, a certain exercise, a certain framework that you can do to start moving through your daily projects, how you're delegating, working through things in that kind of manner. So I know for sure there's 7 videos inside the training area, but I'm sure Todd will surprise you and add some more good stuff. One thing I know he's adding that we actually just sent an email out about today are the achievement plans, or the achievement pack. And Todd chose, I believe it was 5 topics. We were talking to new members inside the Facebook group and also through talking to them when we were calling to welcome them on the phone. And their main goals were anything from getting more leads, to increasing traffic, to increasing sales, to scaling and better systems in their business, and also kind of like networking, but better, making really good quality connections, partnerships, that kind of thing. And I know Todd is going to be filming a video for each one of those achievement plans, walking you through how you would actually set up a system using his achievement model. So, there's 7 videos on top. Well, there's 7 and 5. So you guys that know math, you can put that together, how many there are. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, so Diana's asking, I'd love to know if this program is worth the investment if, 1, you're a young business with very limited professional development funds. I've definitely been there. And 2, if you're already very goal-oriented and focused. That's a great question, Diana. Honestly, I think that I'd have to answer that in 2 parts. Being a young business and having limited professional funds, I think that when you are restricted in terms of resources, whether it be time, money, both, that just means that you have to be smarter than ever about where you put your time and where you put your money. I know for a fact, one of the reasons that I was so excited to offer this program to my audience with Todd was because normally to get access to someone like Todd, it is a 6-figure investment. So the ability to be able to work with him in this capacity, in this kind of way, and still learn the systems and the frameworks and the just foundation for a very young business, to learn it this quickly, something that took us, several years to figure out, I would say that is insanely, insanely valuable. And yeah, I personally do believe for $97 a month to get access to this kind of high-level strategery, yes, I do think that even with limited funds and even with being a very young business, this would be a really great opportunity for you. Now, part 2, you say if you're already very goal-oriented and focused. So that's fantastic, first of all, because a lot of people really struggle with setting goals and their focus. But that's really hard for me to answer because you might be very goal-oriented and you might be very focused, but I don't know if you're focusing on the right things, right? Sometimes you get an idea in your head and you love it, and a business idea, I've seen so many people do this, and they put so much time and energy and passion into it, but it's not aligned with what the market wants, or they don't know how to execute an idea properly. They don't know how to go through and make something happen. If you have the goals and you're focused, but you're focused on the wrong things and you're setting the wrong goals, you're still not going to end up where you want to get, where you want to go. Does that make sense? So it depends on how confident you are that you know you're setting the right goals, you know that the steps you're taking to get there are the right steps, and that you don't need an element of support or community. Because that's something that we've found both in research and just from working with our own clients is really important, is having support and accountability. But some people don't need it. If you're the type of person that you like to put your head down, you don't want anyone else like kind of keeping you in check and working alongside you and motivating you, I don't know that you would need this program, to be totally honest with you. I mean, I think there's a lot of value to it, but it depends on the type of person you are and how you work in your business. I think that it's a huge advantage to be surrounded by other people who are doing things, but it is also very, very important to make sure that you are working in the way that is best for you. And Devin's typing also, he wants to know, how are you doing with that track record of goals? You know, just because you're great at setting goals, are you actually accomplishing them? You know, kind of looking back, as Todd talks about, unpacking the previous year, how did it go for you? I mean, if you're just kicking butt and taking names and hitting every goal and making progress, and you know that you're achieving what you set out to achieve, your business is moving forward, you probably don't need a program like this. But there's a lot of people that don't know how to set the right goals, even though they're good at setting goals. I think that would be the major opportunity distinction to think about. Oh, we've got Anna from Singapore. Now the international crowd is getting here. Okay, Jill's asking, is this a new program or can I find testimonials from somewhere? That's a great question, Jill. This is an entirely new program I'm doing with Todd. He has done this 90-day year concept, this 90-day year plan with his private clients before. So it's something he has tested in terms of the way the goals are set and the results that they get. But we've never rolled it out in this kind of a way where it is available to people, and we kind of cultivated a group around it in a community. But also, you know, I'm a testimonial of Todd. Devin and myself have worked with Todd for the last year. We managed to double our business. We went through the exact same exercises that you'll be going through in January. And I think I'm kind of living proof, right? I mean, it sounds kind of silly, but Devin and myself are living proof that we've been able to do, this has been the best year in our business, not just because of a revenue number, but because of the way that we've been able to work, the impact we've been able to start to have. The income is a tool, you know, that to bring in even more talented people to produce even better work. And I really do attribute that to starting the year out with Todd and really figuring out what I wanted and how I was going to get there in a very specific step-by-step plan. All right, Julie is asking, will you offer the 90-day year again this year? Great question. So Julie, to be totally honest with you, we don't have any plans to offer it again. Now, that's not saying that we won't, but Todd and I really need to go through the enrollment period, get a group of people in there, work with them, talk with them. We've already been pretty blown away by it. I would be surprised if we don't offer something again, but you never know. You know, Todd might get pulled in different directions. I might get pulled in different directions. We don't have any particular commitment to offer it again. So my advice to you is, if it feels right, jump in, because it's going to be, I know this session in particular is going to be so phenomenal, so exciting, because we're all going through it together. And another point of distinction to share is that I don't know that it'll be this exact same format again. And I don't know that it'll be this exact same price. To be perfectly honest with you, Todd commands very, what's the word I'm looking for, Devin?
He's expensive.
He's expensive. Todd is expensive. And I think I have a strong feeling that if we do decide to offer this again, because it will be a established program at that point, it will be at a much more significant price point. Okay. More questions. Any other good ones you're seeing, Dev? Okay. So is the program more one-on-one, or do we do everything on our own? Great question. So this program is, I would not say it's one-on-one necessarily. I mean, you do a lot of the exercises, for example, the 7 sessions. The first session is put into the members area. You are to watch the video to do the exercise. And then on Thursday, you have the live call with the group and with Todd. So there already is a type of experience with the group because you're getting together and you're reviewing the information, you're talking about your results. But you did initially look over or do the exercise independently. However, between Sunday and Thursday, I can tell you already that Facebook group is crazy active. And so something we're really encouraging you to do is go in there, talk about the exercise you're doing, ask questions, share. Like I know so many people in the 90-Day Year program already, they've done their 90-day roadmap. They've been sharing pictures of them working on it. They've been asking questions. They've been sharing insights and results they're getting. So I don't look at it as a one-on-one type of program. I think of it as something where you're really going through with this incredible group of people that are all so motivated and ambitious. And the energy it's really cool and very contagious, which I think is a huge asset to the program. Okay, Vivian's asking, do we still have the private Facebook group after the 90 days? Well, to be totally honest with you, Todd and I haven't talked about that. Again, we're going to be trying and testing a lot of new things and kind of seeing what works if we do decide to move that group forward. But if for some reason we don't, you're always welcome to kind of start your own alum group and keep up those connections. All right, Brad's asking, great question. Was this created for a female clientele? Just like I did notice the lipstick marks on the comment email recently. And right now I'm feeling a little outnumbered. Well, Brad, I would have to say a lot of men would like to be outnumbered. So I wouldn't necessarily view that as a negative selling point. So my audience is primarily female. I tend to lead a lot of women entrepreneurs. However, the content is not female specific. And Todd, as you may have guessed, is a man. He's a man. And he is a very manly man, as he'll tell you, from a farm in Alberta, Canada. I don't know how you get a lot more manly than that. And I even tease him a lot because Todd teaches in a very masculine way. You know, he's very, you'll just notice from some of his analogies, he's a man. So I have to say that I think that you would be in good company, Brad, because you do have a male leading this program. Although, yes, there are a ton of women that are a part of the community, but there's also a good amount of men. I know I've talked to several men when we were calling and welcoming new members. So you won't be alone. I can't guarantee you'll be the majority, but you will definitely be in good company. All right, Sarah is asking, do you need some business acumen in place to begin the 90-day? I don't see a lot of traffic to my business website currently. Is having a personal page on top of the daily work I spend calling, emailing, and texting a benefit? I struggle on how much business do I need to invest in as well as your program. Well, Sarah, I think you look at this as a very different type of thing. I mean, this type of program is not necessarily going to teach you how to get traffic. It's not necessarily going to teach you how to get more Facebook fan likes. Those are goals of yours. Will teach you how to create processes that make those goals inevitable. But this is a very different type of program where it's really focusing more on your leadership. It's focusing on not just your leadership in the context of you having a big team, but your personal leadership, how you're defining your roles in your business, what you're working on, how you're managing your time. And no, you don't need a business acumen in place. In fact, I think that you will be blown away by the business acumen that you will absorb just by being around a group of already successful business owners. It's a huge advantage. But this program was formatted to work for people at any stage of business. So it's not a disadvantage if you are in more of the dream up or startup stages of business. You'll be paired up with someone that's also in the dream up and startup and so forth and so on to make sure that you're matched with the right person. But no, that's not something that you necessarily have to worry about. But in terms of answering your more specific questions in terms of where your time and energy is going, it sounds like honestly this program would be fantastic for you because that's one of the main things Todd empowers you to do is look at where you're spending your time on your business and get rid of a lot of it, which I think is really cool. And when Devin and I last year were looking at everything we do and you just feel like you're pulled in so many different directions and doing so many different things. And then you look at, actually you can remove a lot of that. And it doesn't seem like it at the time. It doesn't seem like there's anything you're doing that isn't critical and vital. But there's actually a lot of things we do in our day-to-day that we're either not tracking properly, so they're not getting results and we just don't even know. And that's one of the worst wastes, I think, because there's so much to do in a business and we spend so much time working as it is. You want to be working on the really big wins and then have more time to do other things, whether it's work on other projects or just, enjoy your life and spend time with your family. Okay, let's see. Deborah's asking, hi from Australia. Hello. Okay, here we go. This is fun, getting all over the world now. Is there any drawback if you're not located in the US? Will there be the same level of support? Well, there will not be the same level of support. I have to tell you that Todd actually has, I would say, a minor obsession with Aussies. Would you agree, Devin?
Yes.
Minor obsession with Aussies.
Yes.
He gets really excited. He actually, on the webinar, I think he had us change one of the webinar times because he was really worried about the Aussies and making sure there would be enough of them. He'll tell you the whole story about why he loves Aussies so much. It has to do with some sport he plays here in the city with a bunch of Australians. But to answer your question, you will receive the same level of support. The only thing that might be different for you is the times for the 7 sessions. But I know Todd already adapted one of the first calls to make sure he could accommodate people in Australia. So I think, don't tell everyone else the same, obviously you all know. But I think as an Aussie, you will get a superb level of support from Todd and myself. Okay, this is great. And some of our members are telling Brad that their husbands have joined the program. So you will not be alone, Brad. Don't worry. Okay, so have we covered most of the questions? That was easy. You guys are giving it way too easy to me tonight. So I think, we talked about a lot of the main objections, people trying to figure out if it's right for them, people trying to figure out if it's really worth the investment, all of those key kinds of things. You're distracting with the computer screen. So Devin's computer is hooked up to our TV screen. And as I'm trying to talk to you, there's this huge monitor flashing between email funnels and calculators. Thanks, Dev. So I'll just go over one more time any important details about the program. And if there's any lingering questions, please feel free to type them in the chat right now. But the main things you need to know, the 90-day year it's amazing. And obviously I'm biased, but I have to say from the bottom of my heart, it has blown away our expectations of the response we expected to get for this kind of program. I mean, we heard you loud and clear the day that we opened enrollment, and so many of you were just so excited, and you're still so excited in the Facebook group, and you're doing the exercises. And I mean, I've been taking screenshots inside the Facebook group of people are crying. They're crying in a good way, like just finally this relief and this clarity that they've been missing in their lives and missing in their businesses for years. So I'm very, very excited to be a part of such a fantastic group and to get to lead all of you in this next 90 days. It's going to be a really, really powerful year. And if you're here and you aren't really sure why it's called the 90-day or what's different about this program versus any other kind of program, I would really invite you to click the button below this video and check it out, because Todd will walk you through why 90 days is just like this time frame, this magic time frame. In fact, some of my friends have been sending me all these really cool little snippets they've heard from very successful people about the power of 90 days and why it's so important to not set a yearly goal that's so far out that you get distracted by and your circumstances change, elements come in that you couldn't anticipate. But 90 days is like that sweet spot of time, right? It's long enough that you can get something really, really great done, but it's short enough that you can properly anticipate what's going to happen in that time frame, plan for it correctly, and actually execute. And I think the reason that Todd and I were so excited about this program is because it gives you momentum going into 2015. Starting a new year, we get on that holiday high and everything feels good and everything seems possible, but then we get a few weeks into January and we get distracted. It's getting dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's kind of hard to pull ourselves out of that. And then what happens in the first few months really does tend to set the tone for your entire year, whether you have something to overcome or whether you have really something to kind of coast and ride the wave of momentum on. So I'm so excited to be offering this at this time of year, because I think that what it will enable you to do is start your 2015 and then create these habits, create these systems that are going to make it impossible for you not to achieve bigger and better things than you've ever achieved before. Another important thing to know is that enrollment is closing tomorrow. So tomorrow, Tuesday, what is it, December 16th? December 16th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific. Enrollment is closing for good. Don't know if we're going to offer this program again. I hope we do, but I don't know that we ever will. And if we do offer it again, I will tell you it probably will not be at such a affordable price. It probably will be one of our more premium offerings and will be an accelerated rate. That's just my guess for now, kind of knowing the conversations I've had with Todd and Devin about this program. So if it feels right, I would really encourage you to jump in because it's an amazing opportunity. We do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is you can try the program for 30 days. If you're not happy with results, you just have to show that you've actually done some of the work. You've actually completed some of the exercises, and you are going to receive your full investment back. Okay. So Dave is asking, Melanie, what is your role in the program? Sounds like Todd is leading it. Are you mailing the satisfied customer, sharing how you implemented his program? I am definitely the satisfied customer. I would say client, talking about how I worked with Todd, but I am also, I'm a part of this program. Todd and I sat down. I was the one that originally brought, the idea out and said, I'd love to do this. Can we collaborate? I know what a huge impact this has made on me personally, and I think that we need to get what you're doing out there in a bigger way so you can impact more people. And so my role was in devising this program with Todd and format it in a way that I knew would really benefit my audience. That's something I'm really proud of is we have a lot of different touch points, and I talk with my customers a lot to really understand what is going to serve them best. So we formatted the actual program, all the different features, all of that together. And I am going to be a part of the community. I am going to be a part of the processes and support my people and continue to work on and develop and talk through concepts with Todd. But I am letting him lead the content because this is his expertise. He's been doing this for 18 years, leading high performers, strategizing high performance strategies. So he is going to be, leading the ship, but I'm definitely along for the ride, and I'm here to support all of my members. Okay, Sarah's asking, curious question, what's your average recommendation and time commitment to spend in the content? Well, this is one of the things I love about the program, I think is so brilliant, is it is not about the content. And that's something that you will not hear very often. But the truth is, it's not about the content. In fact, I joke because we've been on coaching calls with Todd, and a lot of times they're much shorter than I anticipated. And whenever we talk to him about it, he goes, well, my goal is not to be on the phone with you for an hour. My goal is to give you what you need, answer the questions you need answered, so that you can get back out there and be working in your business and be, going on your way and doing things with that information. So I love that mindset because it really empowers you to not just spend a lot of time sitting and learning, which is important, but actually taking action and doing, which is even more important. So Todd and I both agreed it's less than an hour a week, definitely less than an hour a week. You get those 7 sessions, they're spaced out every 2 weeks for 90 days. So I would say in less than 30 minutes a week, you could still be taking the content, digesting it, and then applying it. You're going to spend more than 30 minutes actually applying the business, but you're going to take these little, I swear to you, there's like these golden nuggets that teach you how to look at your business and your day in an entirely new way. And then you're going to go out for the rest of the week and apply that, get feedback, share, ask a question if something's not clear. But it's not about consuming a ton of content. As Todd says, this is not about the content. It's about giving you context. All right, Deb, what do you think? Another question, how long will the materials be available? Can you guys hear that? New York City, I swear. City never sleeps. The material, okay. So you have lifetime access to the videos and the exercises in the members area. So you do have access to those. You do not have access to Todd forever and ever. You have access to Todd and the members area, the 7 sessions, those calls, and access to Todd in the membership community for 90 days. But the videos and the exercises, the PDFs, all of that kind of stuff, you have lifetime access to. All right, Deb, what do you think? Do you have any questions about the program? Do you think that you would be a right fit? Okay, so we talked about when enrollment is ending. Again, really below this video, you will see anything and everything that should answer your questions about what we're going to be covering, that will answer your questions about, you know, the different concepts that are inside. Okay. So someone's asking, my question's about the 12 installments of $97. What's the duration to pay the complete package? Well, it's 12 payments of $97 monthly. So it's 12 months. So it's 12 months of payments. Pretty straightforward, right? All right, so we're hearing, just for clarifications, we have the content we need to complete, and then there's live session or recording where we ask questions if we have any. Yes, there is a live session where Todd will go through the exercise with you. You've already seen it. Hopefully you've already done it, implemented it, applied it. And then the live session on that Thursday is to go over it, get clarification, and ask any questions you have about it or get feedback. All right. Man, you guys made it super easy on me. Pretty straightforward questions. Well, did you find this helpful? Just type in the chat, because I don't do a ton of Google Hangouts, but it is something, like I said, when I know that it's the day before the enrollment ends, there's some of you that are trying to figure out if this is going to be worth it, if it's going to be something that is going to make a big difference in the way you go after goals and the way that you work in your business in 2015. Do you find these kind of informal sessions where we just get to talk and answer questions? Is this something that is helpful to you? Because if you're looking for the main big conceptual teaching, that really happens on our webinars. That's where we can walk you through all of the concepts and models and that kind of a thing in a very entertainment-oriented kind of manner with higher resolution and all of that kind of stuff. But do you still find this kind of an environment where it's a little more casual, a little more open-ended dialogue beneficial to helping you make a decision? Okay, good. So I'm seeing the yeses come in, so that's fantastic. Great. Well, Deb, what do you think? Anything else to cover? Gone over the main stuff? And again, you'll notice, on our program page that you can get to below this video, there's a full FAQ area. So a lot of the questions that we did actually end up talking about tonight, or some of the questions, are listed in the FAQ. Talking about if you can sign up later. What if I'm not located internationally? How is this course different? How will this work? Can I sign up later? A lot of the questions that we actually did talk about tonight are in the FAQ. So if you missed any of them or you want to review them, they are on that page. Let's see, we talked about the weekly, we didn't talk about the weekly missions. So this is something I love. Todd and I were talking about weekly challenges, and he's like, no, we have to call them weekly missions. Like, that's how intent he is on results, which I love. I think is really good for a lot of us who don't tend to really nail things down in terms of what we want to accomplish. So inside the private Facebook group, Todd is also going to be leading weekly missions, which is a very strategic challenge he'll have for you, not just a random challenge, not just some challenge he came up with randomly, but something that is actually going to move you towards challenging your habits, challenging your attitudes, and getting you out in the world to apply a really key activity that is going to have a direct impact on your business growth. So I know that sounds a little ambiguous, but he's going to be breaking that down so that each week you don't even realize the growth that you're creating yourself, the habits that you're trying to get yourself into that are going to totally change the way you work in your business. We talked about accountability, private partners, the 7 sessions we went over, and the video series is still up, right, Jeff? Yeah, so the video series is still up. Hopefully you guys have a link to it if you've been on my list, but that's going to be up again until tomorrow night. So if you want to watch any of those videos again, you want to watch video 4s where Todd and I really talk about the program and why it's so special and beneficial, you can watch all of those till tomorrow night and get a really good sense of how something really simple, like just a different way of looking at something and breaking down something you want to accomplish in a really smart and strategic way can be so incredibly life-changing. And it can be. It sounds kind of trite, but so many of you, the comments have been so fun to read below the videos because, you'll watch a 20-minute video and go, I just learned more about what I should be doing. I just got more insight in these 20 minutes than in the past, 20 days or 20 months running my business. So things don't have to be complicated to be very sophisticated. They don't have to be, super academic or advanced. The most advanced stuff is actually incredibly simple, and that's what makes it so empowering and makes it so easy to take action with. And I think that's the perfect encapsulation of what this program is. It's taking something so simple or so advanced and making it so simple that it's really easy to digest and understand and apply in your business. Even if you're at a beginning stage, or even if you're at a much higher stage, but you're just really busy and you want little nuggets that you can take and apply and get huge traction and leverage with, that's what you're going to find inside this program. And something else that Todd would want me to say, I know he would, is to tell you that this program isn't easy. And that's something that you won't hear a lot of people say about their programs, right? Everyone says, oh, this is so easy, anyone can do it, it's not hard, it's super fast. And the truth is, I do think that anyone can do this program if they have the right mindset for it. And you don't have to have a super advanced business to be in this program. We do have people who have very successful businesses as members of the 90-day year, but we also have people that are just starting out. But the truth is, it's about the individual. You have to be someone who wants to be challenged, and you have to be someone who wants to grow. This is not the type of business where or the program where you get to sit back and I teach you how to, all these like easy hacks for productivity, and you use this one piece of software, and all of a sudden you're making millions, and your computer prints cash. It's not that kind of a program. The reason that I think Todd and I have such a mutual respect is because, we've both built our businesses by a lot of good old-fashioned work. And I think that you have a mutual respect for people who put in the time, that have the grit that matches the ambition. And incredible things are possible for you when you learn to work in the way that Todd is going to show you. But you have to be willing to be coachable. You have to be willing to say, I'm going to push myself outside of my comfort zone. I'm going to challenge myself to look at things differently, to work differently, even if it's uncomfortable. I have to tell you, when we brought in some new people this year, it was a very terrifying experience to bring in new people, invite them into your world, to share very, classified information with them. So that was not easy, but the results of what I did with that, the results of what was possible by stretching myself, challenging myself, forcing myself to develop skills in areas that I never thought I was going to develop skills in, is what continues to make running a business so fun, right? It's like all of these skills that you never knew you wanted to have or that you could have, but you're just pushed to grow. And Todd says that being an entrepreneur or running a business is actually the best personal development program, because you have to learn to become so intensely effective in what you do and so great at your own personal leadership, understanding how to spend your time, how to get in your own, stay in or get out of your own head, how to process things like when there's stresses or challenges or negative people or negative feedback or failure, things that don't work. All of that is just a very real part of running a business. I can't teach you to avoid that, but I can teach you how to overcome that. And that's what a lot of these mental frameworks, it's what a lot of these, coaching sessions are going to be focused around, is the actionable content of how to do it, but then how to be mentally tough and how to actually become the type of person that you need to be to lead your business. Okay, good. Getting some good feedback on that point. So I just, I want to empower you. If you think the program could be a right fit for you, one of the most important things I have learned in my several years of running successful businesses is you have to be decisive. You have to make sure that you make conscious decisions, whether it's yes, whether it's no. I do not think this program is right for everyone. As I said, you really have to be willing to step into something and want to grow as a person and want to grow your business and want to be a better leader and want to be a better business owner. If you're not really motivated by that, I don't know that you're going to get this much out of the program, and I don't think that the community is going to be the right fit for you. But if you are just tingling in your seat right now and you know that you want to do big things and you recognize something in me or you recognize something in Todd that makes you feel confident that we are the people that could lead you in this journey and that could assist you and support you, we would be honored to do so. But that's a choice that you have to make. Yes or no. Don't let opportunities just pass you by because you're focusing on something else, or you get distracted, or you forget. You do not want to live your life passively. Make conscious decisions. Choose the paths that you want to go down. That way, when you end up in a situation, it's been by conscious thought, not just by default. I think that's a way Devin and I have lived our lives for a long time, and we've been so blessed by that manner of living, not just being reactive, but being proactive and actually sitting down and going, what do I want, and how am I going to make it happen? And that's what this course is all about. So what this program is all about. Another thing Todd would want me to say is, this is not a training program, it's a transformation program. You will come out of these 90 days changed, I can guarantee that. You will be thinking about yourself and your business, how you spend your time, and even what you think is possible. I know Todd really stretches Devin and myself to think about, I know this is what you're doing now, but what is actually possible, and getting you to think bigger. And it's amazing when you think bigger, how you start to live bigger as well. All right, so I think we'll end on that note. A bit of a motivational high. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if there's any questions, you can always email our team. There's tons of FAQs that are on that program page. But hopefully I will see a lot of you inside the Facebook group. I've been hanging out in there over the weekend, and in the last few days, it is a heck of a lot of fun and just fantastic. Full of really fantastic people. I can already tell this is going to be a very, very special group. So I hope you can join us. I would love to see you inside. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic evening, day, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you inside the 90-day year.